Hello everyone, and welcome back to Modern Warships with Terry. Today we'll be looking at what I think is one of the best ships, or surface warships, in Tier 2. The Admiral Panteleyev. This is an Udaloy class destroyer. Actually the Soviets called it a frigate, but it is actually, well, it really is a destroyer, and these destroyers were built purposefully as anti-submarine warfare specialized ships. They were meant, they were meant to not to be general purpose ships, but actually specialize on anti-submarine warfare. So their surface warfare capabilities were reasonably limited, but in return they had a lot of things to do that they could in terms of chasing and defending against submarines. Now, the Panteleyev was actually one of the ships that was in the Philippines during the Battle of Marawi and was delivering small arms, trucks, and ammunition for the Philippine forces to take back the city of Marawi from the Islamic State terrorists who had invaded and occupied the city. And that was a very protracted battle. It took them, I think, about almost half a year to eject all these Islamic State terrorists out of there. And during the time, even the local resident rebels were so annoyed with the Islamic State idiots that they did help the armed forces to eventually push these guys back and recapture the city. And yeah, the Panteleyev was in Manila Bay and was actually visited by President Duterte at the time. So that's an interesting connection to recent events that you don't normally get in something like World of Warships. All right, then. In the game, this is a premium ship. You can see that because, well, first of all, you have to buy it, I think, for gold. I can't remember how much I spent for it, but I think it came in a package and it cost a couple of dollars, so I figured why not give it a try. And you can see that it gives plus 20% money and gold in terms of battle rewards. Now, plus 20% gold sounds a lot, but actually you get one gold per ship that you killed. And given that it's a 5v5, it's at best one extra gold. So it's not a huge amount. But still, it adds up over time. This ship this is very similar to the USS Gravely, the American Arleigh Burke version, anti-submarine version that we have in the game here. She sails with one missile launcher, but she does actually have two gun batteries. And this is a big advantage. She has a grenade launcher on the rear, or two actually. And these grenade launchers, they call it grenade launchers. They really are anti-submarine mortars. You can also use them to destroy torpedoes, and we will see that in action. She does come with a torpedo launcher, and she comes with a quad set of AA. Now, this is a single slot, so you can't mix and match, but you're stuck with one. And I'm currently using the ZM47s because these things are very, very good in my experience. So this quad set of anti-air missiles, properly upgraded, can withstand a serious barrage of missile fire. So you have a lot of AA power, plus you actually have one helicopter, and you're going to need the AA power because the ship's very slow. She does, even fully upgraded, 18.2 knots. So that is not great. The maneuverability isn't grand, but she is pretty tanky. It really is a slow-moving tank ship. And the guns, I have put the twin AK-100s up here. And they are rapid firing, and because you get two of them, you can oftentimes do a lot of damage with these guns. Once again, yeah, the AA is, you do have to pick if you want to have machine guns or if you want to have gun-based AA or you want to have missile-based AA. I generally prefer the missile-based ones because they are I find them to be more reliable to take down missiles. All right, so what can you do with this ship? How do you play this ship? What's your play style in this thing? Generally, given that you're not very fast, you want to be somewhat in a central position, and you want to tank. You want to be bow in. You want to use your guns and use your mortars to defeat torpedoes. And she is very, very qualified to deal with anything. She's not a long-range missile launcher. This is a get stuck in tank, AA, support, and gunboat. That's what this thing is. And she's very, very good at this. So let's have a look at some gameplay. We're playing our first battle on unexplored rocks. And let's see what kind of composition we're getting ourselves into. Especially in maps where you have cover, you can oftentimes take a strong position and defend that, or use it to shield yourselves. But you can't necessarily get there very quickly. So if you're spawning on the 2 side, you will oftentimes have a little bit of trouble. But I'm orienting myself into the center. And that's what you have the AA for, to deal with missile spam against overwhelming odds, because you can't move into cover very quickly. Alright, I think we may have spotted the enemy carrier. There's one carrier in the game. And so we should see the AA opening up reasonably quickly. And we are definitely getting dropped here by one of the helicopters, I think, though. So you can use you see the torpedo there incoming. It has a little gray area below it, and you can use that. You can use the mortars to take care of that. So this is about as far forward as I want to be. Now I can start opening up at that Duncan over there. Duncan is shooting at me, and generally, if you see 3 or 4 missiles incoming in another ship, you probably would start using the chaff. I'm not necessarily in this thing. So you can see the AA just taking them out. So we've tried this, and a Duncan at medium to long range, she can tank a Duncan's missile spam, even with the Chinese missiles, completely. So she can completely negate that. Dropping some torpedoes against the Nimitz, just keeping an eye on the submarine, and then firing again at the Duncan. So we are just, guarding the carrier here a little bit, and trying to make sure that nobody gets through. There's a Gravely that is extremely brave. If you're getting into a gun, and I've just taken a huge hit from something. I'm not sure what that was. Could have been the Gravely's missiles, maybe. And maybe my AA was occupied elsewhere, so that I will have to heal up a little bit. If you're getting into a gunfight, you generally want to be bow in. Right now he's come around the corner, so he's hiding, and he's definitely going to lose that gunfight. And yeah, we're getting missile spammed from the other side. I'm just going to ignore that and let the AA deal with that, because I do have a Gravely here to duel with. Because if you are bow in a gunfight, some of the shells will bounce off and they only do 10% damage. But if you're broadside like that, you are very dead. Alright, and we've got a Korean coming in here as well and wants to brawl with me. But this is exactly the thing that this ship is good at, so he is going to regret that decision very, very quickly, because these fully upgraded guns are having a devastating amount of firepower. Plus, I do get to send the occasional torpedoes out, but I honestly don't even need to. There's a Seawolf down there as well, but I think we've lost our carrier. I have tried to kill everything that came in, but it was it might have been the Seawolf taking him out. Now the Seawolf obviously has torpedoes and missiles, but I can defeat the torpedoes with the grenade launcher. So if you move quickly enough, sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. But if you move quickly enough, you can oftentimes get both torpedoes, especially with a dual launcher like this. It's also there. You see, I've gotten both torpedoes in one salvo. It is also a question of ping, oftentimes, because if you're too close, the impact is registering before you get the torpedo destroyed. But there you see what you can do. You just try to open up the distance as much as you can, and let the helicopter sonar spot the submarine, and use the mortar to take out the torpedoes. And then there's reasonably little. I mean, they do get the occasional hit in, but they will have a hard time actually getting you sunk, because you can oftentimes take these torpedoes out before they make the impact, or at least take one out. And if the Seawolf ever comes up to the surface, which he eventually has to, there he is. This is the point where I'm going to start launching missiles and just going to gun him down. So well played on that Seawolf. He's definitely been not making this easy, dodging my torps in return, and so very, very well played on that attack sub. But yeah, against this dedicated anti-submarine ship, you're not going to have a huge amount of chance. Make sure, so if you definitely the most important thing to upgrade on the launchers is the I think he's out of air. On the launchers is the reload speed, not so much the damage, because you don't really want to use them against submarines unless it's like a unless it's really on the knife's edge and they have very little health. But most of the time you just want to have them reloaded quickly so you can take out torpedoes. You don't have to just take out torpedoes that are going for you. You can also hit torpedoes that are going for other ships. And here we are in the second battle. Generally, you can accompany friendly ships. You can play AA support. But now if you're spawning on the weak side, because we're going to have 3 enemy ships against us, you do have to get into cover reasonably quickly, because like everything else, she can get overwhelmed, especially if there are carriers in play, because the AA will oftentimes lock onto planes, and even with the fully upgraded missiles, it takes a little bit of time to take all these planes down. And in this time you are vulnerable to missile fire, because your AA is otherwise occupied. So you definitely need to keep an eye on those kind of things. So I'm just orienting myself towards the center. Fortunately, the 3 ships haven't exploited their strong position at that side. Yep, there's some missiles incoming. No need to. If you've got 2 or 3, 4 missiles incoming, that's fine. But if you get this amount of missiles incoming, you want to start using the chaff and just get rid of these, because that's just a little bit too much. Especially if the other side starts shooting at you as well, because there are more missiles coming in from the other direction. But in general, you can be reasonably relaxed about missiles, because you are very, very, very well equipped in terms of AA. Now I'm trying to get myself into the position here where I can actually start doing something. And yeah, let's open up at this guy. He's sitting there nice and broadside on. And we just want to go bow in to defeat his fire. Now my AA is shooting at his helicopter, so I do have to watch out a little bit. But I think he's just realized that he really doesn't want to be there, and I'm sitting straight in the path of all the missiles coming in here, and lending as much AA support as I can. There's another Korean over there, and we'll try to chase him away as well. There are planes, and we have lost already 2 ships at this point. There are planes. So my AA might be occupied, but I'm just using my guns at this point and trying to do as much damage as possible and get these people chased away all the while defending against as much as I can. I mean, look at the sheer amount of missile spam that's coming in from over there. But they are currently not focusing at me. I'm not sure who they're shooting at. They're shooting at one of the destroyers on the left. So we've got the Korean sunk. There's an Ally Burke over there, and there's still the carrier out there. So stick together and give each other AA defense as much as you can in these kind of situations when you're under strength. Okay, Ali Burke's starting to shoot at me. 3 missiles I don't have any problems with. My AA should be able to take care of that without any trouble whatsoever. And yeah, nothing's hitting in. We've also got the planes shot down. It does help that the ship's fully upgraded, obviously, but yeah, the Ali Burke giving broadside like that to my twin guns is really not helping himself. And there's the Kuznetsov, and there's also, now it's 2 on 2, there's also another Ali Burke. The Ali Burke's the bigger threat right now, so because he is at very close range, and obviously there's only, if the missiles are coming in very quickly, there's only so much you can do. In situations like these, you can often, I mean, there's no torpedo threat here, so you can also use the grenade launchers here for just doing some additional damage to the ship. But yeah, the Ali Burke isn't going to stand a chance. You got him killed. And now it's 1-on-1, and that leaves the Kuznetsov. Now, you can't underestimate a Kuznetsov. These things have a lot of firepower, and it is going to take a little bit to shoot these planes down. So and the AA is going to be otherwise occupied. So I'm going to have to deal with missiles coming in from the Kuznetsov itself, plus torpedoes from the Kuznetsov's helicopter, plus planes that are actually going to disturb my AA. So I am getting hit here by these missiles, which is a little bit unfortunate. Which means I need to use another heal, but there's another torpedo. I'm just going to keep the distance open I'm reversing away here because I want to keep the distance open as much as possible. And yeah, once again, the Kuznetsov's missiles actually make it through because my AA is busy shooting his planes down. which is a good tactic for a carrier in a one-on-one battle like that. Just use your planes to distract and use your weapon systems. But once again, the Panteleyev is an extremely strong ship in a one-on-one, and well played on the carrier. It was a good duel, but I don't think he stood much of a chance against these guns. So yeah, that's the Admiral Panteleyev. This is probably one of my favorite ships in the game so far. Obviously, it's a premium, so it's not like just free to play. But we'll be looking at the Japanese twin gun gunboat soon as well, which is free, and see how that matches up. But yeah, the Panteleyev is a great ship. It's really, really fun ship to play. Anyway, that's it for today. Thanks everybody, and I'll see you next time. Bye.